Welcome to Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. I recently read about a speech that Abraham Lincoln was to give against slavery at Cooper Union in New York City. The great hall that evening was filled with 1,500 curious New Yorkers interested in seeing this candidate, who was a lawyer with very little formal education. One of those in attendance stated that when he saw Lincoln rise to speak, he was greatly disappointed. I saw a tall, angular, and awkward man, and instantly had the feeling of pity for such an ungainly man. But once Lincoln began to speak, his face lighted up with an inward fire. The whole man was transfigured. I forgot his clothes, his personal appearance, and his individual peculiarities. Presently, forgetting myself, I was on my feet like the rest, yelling like a wild one, cheering this wonderful man. I love that line. His face lighted up with an inward fire. It made me reflect, what do I do that others might see a face lighted up with an inward fire? Sometimes our face might not outwardly appear lighted up by fire, but we may feel that lighted fire from within when we are doing or talking about what we feel passion for. A week ago, I was in Storm Lake teaching Introduction to Counseling Methods and Procedures to graduate students in school counseling at Buena Vista University. Teaching that course makes my spirit feel lighted by fire. I absolutely love teaching those skills to eager students committed to helping students in our schools deal with their challenges. My husband Donnie always tells me during the week, "You love doing this, don't you?" He sees it and hears it in my voice. I often tell my students that after counseling someone, it feels like I'm walking in my father's stride. Counseling was one of his best gifts, and he led me to that role that I love so much. When I was thinking about this topic after finding the story about Abraham Lincoln, I made a mind map with all the possible things that make me light up like a fire. In the middle of the paper, I drew a circle and put the question, what makes me light up? Then I put lines out from that circle and wrote on each line what I'd love to do, talk about, learn about, or think about passionately. I realized that these were the ways and the things that I value most, that gives me the willingness to give time away on this earth. You should try it. It will help you define what is most important to you, perhaps what you might see as your purpose, what you love to do so much that time goes away, that thing we call flow. These are the things that can help us regain balance when we are stressed or overwhelmed with life, struggling with anxiety, feeling depressed or restless and not feeling grounded. The important thing is that it is meaningful to you. Finding them allows your spirit to dance. Through this exercise of identifying your interests, skills, values, and passions, you show how you know yourself. That is so important for fulfillment in life. Not long ago, I was at a meeting, and during the introductions, we were encouraged to tell the group what topic we could talk with the group about without preparing for it. What a wonderful way to identify what you love and have taken the time to learn about. I immediately knew I could talk about how to learn to be resilient and how to tell stories. One of my favorite TED Talks was presented by Benjamin Zander, former director of the Boston Philharmonic Orchestra. TED Talks, TED Talks, are 16 to minute presentations about a topic. If you have never seen one, Google TED Talks and search for Benjamin Zander. His presentation is entitled The Transformative Power of Classical Music. He has a delightful humor and engages you even if you do not care for classical music. But it is the last moments of the talk that were profound to me. He told the audience, if something you have to share is getting across to someone, look for the shining eyes. I love that. Look for the shining eyes. What if we reversed it and asked ourselves, do I express things I am passionate about in such ways that people are affected by my shining eyes? I believe shining eyes inspire others. I have a quote on my file cabinet from the autobiography of James Michener. It reads, "The master in the art of living makes little distinction between his work and his play, his labor and his leisure, his mind and his body, his information and his recreation, his love and his religion. He hardly knows which is which. He simply pursues his vision of excellence at whatever he does, leaving others to decide whether he is working or playing. To him, he's always doing both." Hmm. So, what are you willing to change in your life so you can feel the inward fire? As I have shared before, Albert Hubbard once stated a rendition of a poem by Terry White that goes like this: "If I had but 2 loaves of bread, I would sell one of them and buy white hyacinths to feed my soul." Mm. This week on your bathroom mirror, write, "Be like Lincoln. Find something that lights my inward fire." Join me next week for Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.